Greetings, everybody, and welcome back to Weekly Wildlife Wisdom. So far, I've been your host, Zero Yeti, and happy Halloween, which means that time of year again to cover 7 spooky creatures, starting with Dsungaripterus samatus, better known as the Hawaiian hoary bat or the Opeapea. It is a species of bat endemic to the major Hawaiian Islands, making it the only extant native terrestrial mammal on the archipelago. Throughout their range, these bats inhabit human settlements, forests, agricultural fields, grasslands, coasts, and mountains, from sea level up to 13,000 feet or 4,000 meters in elevation. During the warmer months, Hawaiian hoary bats travel to the lowland environments where they are more active, and during the colder months, the bats travel to the highland environments where they are not as active. In contrast to many other bat species, the Hawaiian hoary bat roosts individually rather than in a colony, and they prefer to roost in forest vegetation of less than 4.5 meters or 15 feet tall. The Hawaiian hoary bat is a nocturnal hunter, usually leaving before sunset and returning to its nest before sunrise. Like other bats, they utilize echolocation to locate their prey, which includes crickets, mosquitoes, termites, flies, moths, and beetles. They prefer to capture and eat their prey in flight, reaching 14 to 18 grams or 0.49 to 0.63 ounces in weight, and sporting a 10.5 to 13.5 inch or 26.7 to 34.3 centimeter wingspan. The Hawaiian hoary bat is one of the larger insectivorous bat species. The common name of the hoary bat was inspired by the hoary or frosty coloration of its coat. The Hawaiian hoary bat is distinguished by a silver tint alongside its brown back fur. More pronounced silver bands are found along the neck and as the fur transitions into a yellowish brown along the face, with the ears retaining a black edging around their perimeter. The Hawaiian hoary bat follows a seasonal reproductive cycle, and the pre-pregnancy months span November to April, after which they breed with a single mate, and the bats have a new mate each season. After a 3-month pregnancy, a mother Hawaiian hoary bat will typically give birth to twin babies called fledglings. Said young remain in the nest until they become independent at around 6 to 7 weeks of age, and under ideal conditions, a Hawaiian hoary bat may live up to 14 years. Next up, we have Omnidens, meaning all-tooth. It is an extinct genus of large-gilled lobopodian panarthropod, which lived throughout the third stage of the Cambrian period, some 520 to 515 million years ago. The first remains now known to belong to Omnidens, consisting of a partially intact large mouth apparatus, was found in the Qingzheng biota of the Maotianshan Shales Formation in China and described in 1994. However, at the time, it was interpreted as the oral cone of an anomalocaurid. Omnidens fossils were later described as specimens of Pateoa and Parapateoa, until finally being recognized as a distinct species in 2006, named Omnidens amplus. At this time, it was reinterpreted as a gigantic cryopluid at least 1 meter or 3.3 feet long, far exceeding most known cryopluids in size. Its specific name amplus, meaning large or giant. Omnidens was later identified as a close relative of the gilled lobopodian Pambdelleron. In 2024, additional remains were described from the Zhao-Shiba Lagerstätte and were proposed as a new species, O. kyongki, after the mythical man-eating kyongki, one of the 4 ancient creatures in the Chinese mythology, whose name means distressingly strange. In addition to the mouth parts, some frontal appendages have been found of Omnidens, giving it a better picture of the animal's life appearance. Based on the large size of its preserved mouthparts, Omnidens is estimated to have reached upwards of 4.9 feet or 1.5 meters in length. Its overall appearance was likely similar to that of its close relative Pamdeluron or Pamdeluron. In life, Omnidens was likely a somewhat poor swimmer that spent much of its time cruising the ocean floor. It would have been a benthic predator which fed upon slower moving prey such as various arthropods, chiefly trilobites. Next up is Canis simensis, better known as the Ethiopian wolf, the red jackal, the simian jackal, the horse jackal, or the simian fox. It is a species of endangered large canine endemic to 7 isolated mountain ranges throughout the African country of Ethiopia, at altitudes of 3,000 to 4,500 meters or 9,840 to 14,760 feet in elevation. The Ethiopian wolf is a social animal living in family groups containing up to 20 adults. Although they tend to forage and hunt either alone, in pairs, or in trios, Ethiopian wolves rest together in the open at night and congregate for meetings and border patrols. At dawn, noon, and in the evening. The Ethiopian wolf tends to inhabit alpine grasslands and heathlands, where it primarily hunts various rodents and hares, and less often rocks hyraxes, young mountain nyla, and reedbuck. Ethiopian wolves also consume nectar from flowers of the Nymphophea foliosa, reaching around 33 to 40 inches or 83.8 to 101.6 centimeters in length, and 21 and 24 inches or 53.3 to 61 centimeters tall at the shoulder, and around 24.7 to 43 pounds or 11.2 to 19.3 kilograms in weight, with males being slightly larger than females. The Ethiopian wolf is similar in size to North America's coyote, and larger than its contemporaries, the black-backed jackal, the side-striped jackal, and the African wolf. It is distinguished by its long and narrow skull, as well as its long, well-built legs. The Ethiopian wolf has short guard hairs and thick underfur, which provides a protection at temperatures as low as -15 Celsius or 5 degrees Fahrenheit. Its overall color is ochre to rusty red on the back and sides, and white on the underparts. The mating season usually takes place between August and November, and after a 60-day pregnancy, a mother Ethiopian wolf will give birth to 2 to 6 pups between October and December. The, the pups are born with a charcoal gray coat, and this dark coat is gradually replaced with the adult coloration as they age. After around 5 weeks, the pups begin eating solid food, and by 6 months they are fully weaned. The pups are raised communally and will be fully grown at around 2 years of age. Under ideal conditions, an Ethiopian wolf may live upwards of 10 years. Next up is Dsungaripterus, which is a genus of Dsungaripterid pterosaur which lived throughout West China and Korea during the Valanginian stage of the early Cretaceous period, some 137 to 132 million years ago. The first known specimen of Dsungaripterus, consisting of a partial skeleton and skull, was found in the Lian Muquin Formation near the town of Lian Muquin in the Shaoshan County, Xinjiang, China. This specimen was described in 1964 by zoologist Yang Zhongzhang, who named the animal Dsungaripterus Wei, with the genus combining the reference to the Dsungar Basin with the Latinized Greek pteron, meaning wing. And the scientific name honors paleontologist C.M. Wei of the Paleontological Division of the Institute of Science and at the Bureau of Petroleum in Xinjiang. In 1973, more material, including multiple nearly complete skulls, were found within the Xinjiankou Formation. A Dsungaripterus wing-finger phalanx was found in 2002 at the Hassandong Formation of South Korea, standing roughly 3.3 feet or 1 meter tall, and sporting a 9.8 to 11.5 foot or 3 to 3.5 meter wingspan. Dsungaripterus had a rather robust skeleton with thick walls and stoutly built body proportions, suggesting a mostly terrestrial lifestyle. The flight style of these animals is unclear, but it was probably punctuated with abrupt landings and extensive flapping. The skull of Dsungaripterus bore a low bone crest that ran down from the base of the skull to halfway to the beak. Its most notable feature is its long, narrow, upcurved jaws with pointed tips. It had no teeth at the front parts of these jaws, which were probably used to remove prey from cracks in rocks and or the sandy, muddy inland environments it inhabited. It had knobbly, flat teeth more to the back of the jaw that were well suited for crushing the armor of shellfish and other hard objects. Next up is Anchistrodon contortrix, better known as the eastern copperhead, or simply the copperhead. It is a species of pit viper endemic to the eastern endemic to eastern North America. Sorry. I was going to say the eastern USA, but they're also found in Mexico. Here it can be found from as far south as Chihuahua and Coahuila states of Mexico to as far north as the U.S. states of New York and Massachusetts. Eastern copperheads tend to inhabit deciduous, coniferous, and mixed forest, as well as swamps, wetlands, and limestone outcroppings. Here, eastern copperheads are ambush predators that tend to feed upon various invertebrates, lizards, amphibians, other snakes, small turtles, birds, and small mammals. Smaller prey items and birds are often seized and held in the mouth until dead, whilst larger prey items are typically bitten, released, and then tracked until dead. Copperheads are themselves preyed upon by owls, hawks, opossums, bullfrogs, alligators, and larger snakes. Copperheads are nocturnal during the hot summers, but commonly are more active during the day during fall and spring. Unlike other viperids, they often freeze instead of slithering away, and as a result, many bites occur due to people unknowingly stepping on or near them. This tendency to freeze most likely evolved because of the extreme effectiveness of their camouflage, as when lying on dead leaves or red clay, they can be almost impossible to notice. They frequently stay still even when approached closely and generally strike only if contact is made. Only if physical contact is made. Sorry, my vision's kind of going blurry a little bit. Copperhead venom has an estimated lethal dose of around 100 milligrams, and its potency is amongst the lowest of all pit vipers. Still, the fangs of these pit vipers are capable of delivering venom in amounts that necessitate the use of anti-venom. Bite symptoms include extreme pain, tingling, throbbing, swelling, and severe nausea. Damage can occur to muscle and bone tissue, especially when the bite occurs on the outer extremities, such as the hands and feet. Copperhead venom has also been found to hold protein contortrotosatin that halts the growth of cancer cells, as well as also stops the migration of tumors to other sites. Reaching on average between 1.7 and 3.1 feet, or 50 to 95 centimeters, and occasionally up to 3.3 feet, or 1 meter in length, and around 0.22 to 0.76 pounds, or 0.1 to 0.35 kilograms in weight. The eastern copperhead sports a wider body, which is adorned in distinctive dark brown hourglass-shaped markings overlaid on a light reddish-brown or brownish-gray background. Eastern copperheads breed in late summer, but not every year, with individuals often skipping years between active breeding seasons. Mother eastern copperheads give live birth to litters of around 4 to 7 pups. The young are similar to adults, but lighter in color, with a yellowish-green marked tip at the tail, which is used to lure lizards and frogs. Unreal conditions, an eastern copperhead may live up to 20 years. Next up is Dinofelis, an extinct genus of macrodontine saber-toothed cat, usually classified in the tribe Metallurinae, which lived throughout Africa, Asia, Europe, and North America during the early Pliocene to the early Pleistocene, some 5 to 1.2 million years ago. The first remains, now known to belong to Dinofelis, consisting of a skull and partial skeleton, was discovered in the Sivalik Hills of India by Falconer and Cotley in 1836, who originally identified it as a species of the genus Panthera, and therefore named it Panthera crissata. The name Dinofelis itself was coined by Otto Zdansky in 1924 for the species Dinofelis abeli. Further fossil species were named, including Felis diacemata and Megatherion barlowi, which were later transferred to the genus Theria alaris, which was in turn later considered a junior synonym of Dinofelis. A comprehensive review of the genus was published in 2001 by paleontologists Lars Werdelin and Margaret E. Lewis, who recognized 8 species as being valid, being D. cristata, D. barlowi, D. darti, D. aronoki, D. paleoonca, D. diastemmata, D. peteri, and D. piveatii, with an additional species, D. ordelini, being named in 2023. The genus Dinofelis varied greatly in size from species to species, with the smallest being around 3.3 feet or 1 meter in length and around 35 pounds or 6.8 kilograms in weight, comparable to the size of a large lynx. The larger species were around 6.5 feet or 2 meters long and 300 pounds or 136 kilograms in weight, being roughly the size of a big jaguar. Dinofelis is often called a false saber-toothed cat because while its front canines were enlarged beyond a point normally seen in today's big cats, they were not as large as the true saber-toothed cats like Smilodon. In life, Dinofelis inhabited a mix of forests and grasslands, where Dinofelis would have been ambush predator, feeding upon a variety of small and medium-sized prey. In particular, Dinofelis seems to have been a major predator of various primates, such as baboons and other monkeys, smaller apes, and even hominids, like Homo habilis, Pananthropus, and Australopithecus afarensis. And last but not least, we have Atrax robustus, better known as the Sydney funnel-web spider. It is a species of venomous megalomorph spider native to eastern Australia, and is a member of the group of spiders known as the Australian funnel-web spiders. As their name implies, the distribution of these spiders is centered on Sydney, extending north to the central coast and south to the Illawarra region, as well as west to the Blue Mountains in New South Wales. Here, Sydney funnel-web spiders tend to live in lush gullies beneath rocks and fallen timber. They also live in moist soil beneath houses, gardens, and compost heaps. They get their name funnel-web due to their behavior of building silk-lined tubular burrow retreats with a collapsible tunnel or open funnel entrances, which have irregular tipped lines radiating over the ground. Such burrows are usually under rocks, logs, or in the borer holes of trees. These spiders spend most of their time in their silk-lined tubular burrow retreats. When potential prey, such as insects, land snails, millipedes, lizards, frogs, or rodents, walk across the trip lines, the spider rushes out, subduing their prey by injecting them with their venom. The Sydney funnel-web spider typically delivers full envenomation when it bites, often striking repeatedly. Due to its defensiveness, due to the defensiveness of the species and the presence of the large chelicerol fangs. The bite of the Sydney funnel-web is initially very painful, with clear fang marks being separated by several millimeters. Physical symptoms can include nausea, vomiting, copious secretion of saliva, muscular twitching, and breathing difficulty, as well as disorientation and confusion, leading to unconsciousness. Female Sydney funnel-web spiders have notably less potent venom than their male counterparts. Whilst the Sydney funnel-web bite is regarded as a medical emergency requiring immediate hospital treatment, since the antivenom became available in 1981, there have been no recorded fatalities. Reaching around zero point 0.4 to 2 inches or 1 to 5 centimeters in body length, the Sydney funnel-web is medium-large for a venomous spider. Both sexes are glossy and darkly colored, ranging from blue-black to brown to dark plum purple in coloration. The carapace covering the cephalothorax is almost hairless and appears smooth and glossy. Another characteristic is the finger-like spinnerets at the end of their abdomen. Funnel-web spiders have shiny, solidly built limbs and a row of teeth along the fang grooves and another row on their paired claws. They have large fangs and notable venom sacs. Males are smaller, slimmer, and have longer legs than the larger females. Males tend to wander during the warmer months of the year, looking for receptive females to mate with. After mating, females lay around 90 to 120 yellow-green eggs. Males reach sexual maturity around 4 years of age, and the females take just a little bit longer. Under ideal conditions, a female funnel-web spider may live up to 25 years. As always, take care to my guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Hey y'all, recently we here at Factutainment were asked to join Andy Roo's gaming gang and do a big multi-channel fundraiser for children's miracle hospitals. Thus we have partnered with them and the charity Extra Life to raise money for families in need. There will be a donation link to our fundraiser in the video description down below. Now we know things are rough and times are tight, and so there is no pressure to donate if you can't afford to. But if you can, just know that every dollar you donate will directly help out some folks who need it now more than ever. As always, take care of my guys, gals, and non-binary pals.